The 4-H Dog Show took place on July 20th at Sandford Hall in Mitchell. This show consisted of 4 different events, including obedience, showmanship, agility, and rally.
I have to do some obedience, and I do an agility course, some showmanship, and some rally.
Participants are judged based on a set of standards that differ for each event. In the obedience event, points are awarded based on how well the dog listens to the handler.
I have a choker chain and a leather lead, and you just walk them around and you do what the judge is telling you to do. And then once you're done, they say exercise complete, and then you can praise your dog. There's the long down where you make your dog lay down and you have to go to the end of your lead. And then there's the long sit, and you just make them sit, and it's the same thing as the long down, just you're sitting them instead of making them lay down. There's halt, you stop, and then you sit your dog, no leaving it, just sitting. And then there's an about turn where you have your dog on your left side and you both turn that way. And then there's the figure 8, and you just go around until they tell you to halt, and you just sit.
In the showmanship event, points are awarded based on how well the handler shows off their dog and the knowledge of their dog's breed.
For showmanship, what you do is they line you up in the order of fastest to slowest dog, and then you go up to the judge and you go line yourself up, and then you go one at a time and go through your patterns. There's the down and back where you just go down, you do a turn where your dog goes in and so do you. And then there's the L pattern where you just basically make a capital L and then triangle. Before you start your patterns, they normally ask you questions about your dog's origins, how do you feed them, and basically where everything is on your dog.
A trait of the local show is that groups are divided based on level, not breed. Another event that took place during the show was Rally.
So Rally is a course, it's kind of a mixture of obedience and, in the higher levels, agility, because you do a lot of commands and you follow the instructions from the sign instead of being told them from the judge, as if you were healing and just listening to a sign instead. So some of the common commands are like a halt and a sit, where you'll have to stop and your dog will sit down. One that I had in my levels was you have to stop your dog, lay them down, or sit them, and walk around them. And then some other pretty common ones are turns, such as a 360 either direction or 270-degree turns, where you'll make like a 3/4 turn and walk off.
While still a new event to the local show, Rally has become one of the favorites for the 4-H'ers.
Rally is kind of a unique event because it's pretty new to our county, and so there's been a lot of adaptations to it in the past couple years. So year to year the rules change quite a bit for us, and it's a pretty fun event to do because it's different. It's not tried and true, like showmanship is always the exact same. It just gets harder as you progress. Rally is one where the course has changed quite a bit year to year, and they can be different day to day on a multi-day competition.
The fourth event of the show was the agility course. Handlers lead their dogs through a set of 6 to 13 obstacles on or off leash based on their level. Obstacles included, but are not limited to, jumps or hurdles, weave pulls, the A-frame, and the tunnel. Points are awarded based on time and the dog's willingness to complete the obstacle. An overall showmanship competition was the finale for the show. The top dogs from each level of showmanship were placed in one final class, and an overall grand and reserve were chosen. Ribbons and awards for all of the events were given out after all of the events were completed. Be sure to check out the community calendar and more stories from around the area on our website at www.aroundthetownnews.wordpress.com.